everyone, this is Barbie with Jeannie's Designs. I'm getting ready to do a short video on these straps that I've been making. Just the straps, so it'll be fairly short. I just decided these are my new favorite, and I like how they look, and I decided to do a short video on them. So this is the first one that I made, not the first one, but one of the ones that I made. This goes to my current bag. So you need 2 3/4 inch. Honestly, it depends. Let me start over. You need a strap end connector. So you need something like this. I have an acrylic template for my 4-ton press that I got from the Buckle Guy. I'll link it in the description below. It's not a cheap piece of equipment. So you can cut these out by hand. You can cut them out on a cutting machine like ScanNCut or Cricut or whatever you choose. But I have an acrylic template, which makes it so much easier. This happens to be leather. This one is vinyl. So, but this one is made for 3/4 inch swivel clasp. So you need 2 of the overlays, and you need 2 3/4 inch swivel clasps. You need 1 square ring, either 1 inch or 1.5 inch, depending on the strap that you're making. And you need a slide adjuster, again, either 1 inch or 1.5 inch. That's all the hardware that you need, okay? So you do need 2 of these straps. And then I put a little piece of Decaville, either heavy or light, right down the middle, just to give it a little more strength. This is vinyl, so it really needs it on vinyl. That leather, I did it as well, but it may not need it. So you need 2 of these with your swivel clasps on, and then tape on both sides. Okay, 2 of those. Then you need a little piece of vinyl or leather, whatever you're using, to put over one end of your webbing. And this just happens to be nylon webbing. Okay, so now I'm going to just use a little more double-sided tape on both sides so that when I put it on my webbing, it doesn't move on me. And then I'm just going to put a line down the middle so I know where my my middle is. Oops, can hardly see that. There we go. This is just a 1.5 by 1.5 inch piece of vinyl or leather, whatever you choose. Okay, so we're going to put that on our raw edge of our webbing and put it just barely in the center mark that you made, and then fold it over so that both raw edges are even. So just like that. So same evenness on this side and this side. Let me put you down so you can see better. So right there. I'm going to move the camera just slightly so you can see my machine. There we go. All right. Then we're going to get our swivel clasp, and we're going to put that up and through, and pull that down, and then I'm going to do 2 rows of stitching, and I might do a box. It depends on how good I'm feeling about my box. I'll just do a box. Okay, that's all there is to that. Burn your threads. All right, so there you have that. Now we're going to add our square ring in this side. Make sure it's not twisted, up and through our silver clasp. Okay, so this is what you have. You have one end that has your square ring and one end that is raw. This end gets one of these connectors. I'll go get the acrylic template so you can see it. And we're just going to add that nice in the center. That's why you need some tape there. And when you pull this down, just make sure all your sides are very even. Perfect. So there we go. Now we're going to stitch around this all the way around. And I am going to start here so that the small side of my zipper foot can go as close to the top here as I can get. I'm going to pull these threads to one side so I don't backstitch. And just go slow. These are very visible stitches. I know it's very slow. I'm not a slow sewer. Now, if you feel more comfortable, and I do, I'm going to, instead of going over my hardware, I like to go backwards just like I just did, so I don't nick my hardware in any way. Okay. Let's pull these. Let me see. This is the raw, this is the inside per se. So I'm going to pull those threads to the inside. And we're going to tie those off. I'm going to grab all four and even them out because they're very long. There we go. Okay, tie those off. Trim that up and we'll burn those threads. So there's one side without the knot, and there's the other side. Tiny little knot right there. Now I am going to add a couple rivets, and I'm going to use my wide rivets. I just like the way they look. And let me see, where's my board? I'm just going to mark for them. Now these rivets are, I think they're like 15 millimeter heads. So you have to be aware. This is, Find your center. That you put them far enough apart because the heads are so big. They're not normal rivets. Okay. It's going to be a little bit of noise. And interestingly enough, it's hard to get through nylon. Which I guess is a good thing, you know? All right, let's put that through. And whatever side you put your cap in, do it the same on both sides. They're the same, but you don't want to take a chance. There's a little bit of vinyl right here. Let me grab that off of there. There we go. Okay, now I set these with a hand tool, believe it or not. So a little more noise. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Goes over there. So that's one side. Now we are going to grab our 6-inch piece. Make sure this is all straight, and we're going to put our 6-inch piece up and through that square ring. Just like that. And that's where this piece is going to go. Then you've just created a removable strap. And I'm going to just put a little piece of tape so my webbing doesn't move on me. You could sew that too. I've done both. Okay. Now we're going to add our webbing again, just right in the center. Take the tape off this side and then find each side and the bottom so that it's nice and even. Beautiful. Okay. Then we're going to do the same thing on this end. Stitch around there. Leaving those long so we can pull them to the back, or just to one side. There really isn't a back to this, it's just one side. Got a little foo-foo on my hand. Okay, I need to come over one tiny little stitch. There we go. Then I'm going to turn and go backwards. And then back down and go forwards. And stop where you started. Okay, so which is my underside? This is my underside, and I can tell that because my swivel clasp is under here. pull those threads to the back, tie them, and trim them. If they're not even, just trim them up. Just makes it 100% easier to tie them off. One, two, three. Perfect. So there's that one. We're going to add 2 rivets there. And with these big rivets, I'm about, let's see how far I am between my little dots. About 3/4 of an inch between my dots for my rivets. Because the heads are so big. All right, so that is your strap. And then we go to the other camera. That's all there is to it. So here it is. Now you could edge paint this, you could do whatever you want. I don't find it necessary, but it would look nice if you edge painted. So you have one strap end on this end with a square ring, 3/4 inch for me, and 2 rivets, the slide adjuster, and then the same thing on this end. That is all there is to it. Let me go get my acrylic dye and I'll show you that. All right, so this is the acrylic dye. That's what I'm talking about for a the number 4 ton, T-O-N, leather dye press. This is acrylic and here is the press. I don't honestly remember how much this was. It was $30, I believe. I bought 3 presses like this, 2 for zipper overlays, and then this one. I am probably going to order one eventually with a 1-inch center piece for 1-inch hardware. Same, probably the same shape. I really like this shape. But that's what it is. So you cut that out and you press it and it's like immediate. It takes seconds. It's the most beautiful thing. So let me move the camera up here. That's it. So here is 2 straps that I absolutely love. Now you don't have to use the big rivets. You can use whatever rivets you have. These can be cut out by hand. These can be cut out by on a scan and cut or circuit Cricut. You know, I always call it a circuit. I don't know why. Very little hardware, a piece of webbing. It just really classes up the straps, I personally think. So this is vinyl, and then this is leather. That's it. That's all there is to it. Thanks for watching. I hope this is helpful. talk to you soon. Bye-bye.